Hey guys, what's going on? Jake from Vance Outdoors. I am the boat mechanic here. Today I'm going to be going over some basic trailer maintenance you need to perform before you hit the road and take your boat to the lake. So the first part I'm going to talk about, this is the front end of your trailer. This is basically, we call it the hitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, I'm going to grab each part, I'm going to show you what it is, and talk about what it does, and then I'm going to show you what to look for. So this little guy right here is your breakaway cable. So you're going to hook this up to your vehicle. Now this is for if for some odd reason this trailer comes unlatched and your boat comes off your tow vehicle, this cable actually pulls tight and it's hooked to the brakes on the axles, and it'll lock the brakes out and keep this from rolling down the highway. The next thing I'm going to kind of talk about is actually the actual like receiver part up here. You can put some grease and stuff in here, make it a little bit easier to go down on the ball of the tow vehicle, and you just want to make sure this is latched down. Make sure all this stuff works properly, because if this doesn't latch down properly, this can pop out, and then your whole boat's going to come off the tow vehicle. Next is your locking pin. The locking pin here, so when this is pushed down, so you make sure that's closed, this locking pin goes right through here. When this locking pin's in there, it'll allow it to pop up a little bit, but it won't actually come off the ball. It'll still keep the boat on your tow vehicle. That won't come off. So basically what you're looking for on both of these items is this cable. You just want to make sure there's no braid frays, anything like that. You want to make sure it's nice and solid, because you do not want these two guys to fail. Kind of moving back here, this is your wiring harness. This is for all the lights on your trailer. So basically all you're going to look for is you're going to look at the ends. You want to make sure none of these are bent, corroded, got any gunk or anything built up on them. You just want nice, clean. You can take WD-40, kind of clean them up a little bit if none of your lights are working. And you just, again, you want to check all your wiring. This one's kind of got like a nice little plastic hose that runs over it to keep your wires from fraying up, anything like that. So that's pretty much all what you're going to look for on that. Up on top here, this little cap, you just go and unscrew this. So once you take this little cap off, there's actually a reservoir down inside here, and it holds brake fluid. So check this maybe once a month or so. If you're doing a lot of traveling, you want to make sure that stays topped off. That's for your brakes. And going back here, same thing, you got some safety cables. You want to hook these up to your tow vehicle. This again is for if for some odd reason this receiver was to open, your boat pops off the tow vehicle, whatnot. This thing will actually hold the boat to your tow vehicle. So before this thing actually pulls and the brakes lock out, this just keeps your boat from basically running away. Again, you want to make sure it's not rusted in half, nothing crazy like that, no frays, anything like that. They do make chains. These are cables. It's all preference whether or not once you want cables or chains. But other than that, that's pretty much it up here on the front of the trailer. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is your trailer jack. Your trailer jack actually supports everything when the boat is not on your tow vehicle up front. So basically what you're going to look for is, you can see how this one's nice and smooth. Of course, it's a brand new boat. So if you got a little bit aged boat, or your trailer jack's just not as smooth, so it's got a little grease fitting right here on the top, you can put a couple squirts of grease in there, and if that still doesn't really loosen it up to where it's nice and easy, you can pop this cap off, and you can actually, sometimes it gets grease built up, like old grease, dirt, that kind of stuff in there. You can clean that out, put some fresh grease in there, put a little bit more here, and you can also add some down on the bottom here. But other than that, if it's still super, super tight to crank up, you're probably just gonna have to buy a new trailer jack. All right, so the next thing we're gonna be talking about is your trailer tires. Now, we're back here on the rear end of this trailer. So what you wanna check for is you wanna make sure your tread's all good. You don't have any nails or anything like that coming out. And you're gonna check your tire pressure. Just these tires, your average trailer tire runs about 50 PSI cold. So tread depth, make sure you're not losing anything, make sure you don't have any nails, anything like that. Tire pressure, then you want to check your lug nuts, double check all these, and typically, like, especially if it's a brand new boat, like we say, like, as soon as you get home, it's like every 50 or 100 miles, you just might want to have something in your car, your tow vehicle, that you can check these. So if all that stuff's all good, you're gonna walk back, you're gonna check your wheel bearings here. Now, traditional trailers are grease. You use grease to lubricate your bearings back here. Some of your modern day trailers, the higher end trailers, they got oil bath hubs. If you're gonna have a grease, the traditional, you can use bearing buddies. You can throw this on there. So this will actually take place of the cap. and you can use the grease gun to put grease in your bearings that way. Or if you just want to repack them, you can pull this off and you can repack them that way. Now to check these, basically all you're going to do is you're going to slide a floor jack up underneath of it. You're going to get it just high enough up off the ground that you can move it. So now when you spin it, you want to listen for grinding, see if it's any, like, if it's real rough to spin, grinding noises, and then you're just going to take it and you're going to go like that with it. And if it moves, that's not good. You're probably going to have to replace your trailer bearings, or if you hear any grinding noise, something like that. But if you jack the trailer tire up and you can't move it side to side, doesn't have any end play in it, don't hear any grinding in it, just put a couple pumps of grease in it, you should be good. Putting grease in trailer bearings, we probably recommend maybe like a pump or two a month usually. And like I said, if you got bearing buddies on there, it's super easy to do. If not, you can always pull your cap off, just check the grease. If it's milky, you're getting water in there somewhere, you might have to replace the seal, something like that. But other than that, as long as, like I said, try your tire depth, tread, tire pressure, double check your lug nuts, and wheel bearings. That's pretty much all you got to do with your rear axles, tires, that whole assembly. So other than that, you should be good to go. I want to thank you guys for watching our video. That wraps up our basic trailer maintenance. If you guys have any questions about your boat, motor, or trailer, feel free to stop in the Hebron store or give us a call. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and find us on YouTube.